Hello, and welcome back to Girl We Gotta Talk podcast. Today I'm joined by Haley Joelle. She's a singer-songwriter living in LA and Portland. She's about to release her new single, which I'm sure you've already heard on TikTok or seen on TikTok, Emergency Contact. So today I'm so excited for her to come on the podcast. We're going to chat today just about her writing process, obviously Emergency Contact, and just get to know her a little bit better. So Haley, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on. Oh my gosh, I loved that.
Right before we came on, we were talking about Emergency Contact, and for me to say that it's coming out like in a couple of days is so crazy for you, I think, right?
It literally is insane. Like it happened so fast. I know people are like when it blew up, people were like, "Can it be released tomorrow?" But it's like there's so much that like goes into finishing a song. So I feel like even though it's almost been a month now, it happened so fast. Like
Yeah.
have to finish everything. So, but I'm really happy that it like the day is almost here. So
I'm so excited. We will kind of talk about that whole writing process and it kind of getting the attention that it deserved in a little bit. But before we get into all of that, let's do some rapid fire questions. These are so random. Actually, the first one is a little relevant. It is, what was the last song that you downloaded or added to a playlist?
oh, that's a good one. Can I look?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, I don't know.
In the
Um,
meantime, are you a Spotify or Apple Music
I
person?
actually have both,
Ooh, that's
but
different.
I use Apple Music the most, but I like Spotify because some of their playlists and like being able to like see the numbers.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why. Okay. Um, it was this song by oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher his name. Yao, Yaeow, and
Okay.
we're like friends because of TikTok. He's like a
How
musician,
fun.
but it's like his new song Lost in Between. So,
Cool. Okay, cool. Next question. If you got to travel to another decade, what decade would you pick?
oh no. Maybe like the 1930s or something for like Great
Ooh.
Gatsby vibes.
Yes, love that. What is your favorite guilty pleasure snack?
Um, oh gosh, this is so hard. At night I always eat like these vegan Trader Joe's cookies.
Ooh,
I
what
don't
are
know.
they?
They're chocolate chip cookies. They literally taste like real chocolate chip cookies, but they're vegan.
Amazing. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how good of a driver are you?
I've actually only gotten in one accident. Okay, I'll answer the question first. Probably like a 6, and I'll say that because I actually think I am a good driver, but I don't know directions at all. And like there will never be a time where I don't use GPS. And also I've only gotten in one accident, but it was I accidentally hit my dad's car.
Okay.
So that maybe wasn't like
That's a respectable
amazing.
number though. Like at least you're honest. You're not like, I'm definitely a 10, you know?
Oh, no, no, no. Like definitely have like been really confused like which lane is this, like whatever. But yeah, I feel like I'm fine at the end of the day.
And then last one is, who is your celebrity crush?
Someone asked me this the other day and I honestly don't know. I feel like I used to be like huge on Cody Simpson. Um
Oh.
but I kind of feel like that one guy from Gossip Girl, not Chuck, the other one,
Oh
Nate.
yeah. I'm blanking on his name, but I know who you're talking
I
about.
don't know his real life name, but I just remember when I was in 8th grade thinking he was like everything.
Yeah. Okay, so kind of jumping into, I just want to know kind of how all of this and you like got started in music and all of that. So when did you first start singing, or I guess realize like, oh wait, I can actually sing? Because we all sing.
So true. I love that question. So actually, like my mom used to play music in the car to like get me to go to sleep. So I definitely think that that had like a big part in like how I got into music because I she was just always playing music when I was little, and then I don't know. According to my parents, I've always sang for like as long as I can remember. And then I also used to do dance. I was like a competitive dancer for a while. So I feel like that had to do with it. And we got a piano in our house when I was like 5 because my mom's dad like gave it to her as a gift because he didn't want it. So then I started like getting really interested in piano and taking lessons, and then I kind of just started like singing too. It kind of happened at the same time, I guess. And then my parents like really noticed that I was like into music, so they got me like a voice coach when I was like 7, and it was like super low key, like it was just like cover songs and all that stuff and like voice recitals, but that's kind of how it happened, and then I kind of just like kept working on it, and like I used to not be that good. Like my voice sounded really like annoying. Like I feel like I had to really like work on it to like sound mature ish. So, but yeah, that's kind of like the gist of it, I guess, in terms of like how I got into singing.
Okay. Um, so as far as writing your own songs, when did you
Yeah.
start doing that and like experimenting with like your own, yeah, your own stuff?
I remember when I was like 8, I think I was 8, I went on a walk with my parents, like just around my neighborhood, and I literally just like saw this guy running or something, and I started writing a song in my head about it. And it was so funny. And anyway, literally the first time was like, saw you running. Not even kidding. So I just had these melodies in my head. And I used to listen to music all the time. At that point, I think that I had like the little iPod shuffle. So
Yeah.
I was like listening to music on that all the time. And so I kind of like knew the structure of a song, like verse and then like pre-chorus and chorus. So like when I wrote that first song, like there was actually like a structure to it, which was kind of crazy. And I literally like in my songbook, I just looked the other day, like I wrote like verse, pre-chorus, chorus, which is like insane that I like knew that. Um, but yeah, and then my dad like helped me try to write songs like every weekend because I like didn't have the vocabulary. But they were really bad, but like, you know, I was still doing it. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of how it started. And then I would say like fourth and fifth grade, maybe not so much. But then I kind of got back into it in like middle school. Um, and then just like kept at it, which is like insane. So it's been a while.
That's so cool that you
Yeah,
have like that structure and like the melodies in your head. Like I can't even like fathom any of that. I think that is so cool.
it really is weird. Like I think that it definitely has to do with like music though that I listen to
Yeah.
because I'm just listening to it all the time. And so like even now I find that like I'll get inspired by like certain music that I listen to. That's why I try to like listen to music a lot or like different types of music because I find that it like really rubs off on me. So yeah, but it is crazy. Obviously, I had to like work a lot at like getting them to be better songs, but it was a good start.
Totally. Are you like someone that does that happen to you a lot where you'll be out and about and like see something and then be like, "Oh, that would be a really good song," like and start kind of like
Oh
working in
yeah,
your head? Like how often does that happen to you?
all the time, all the time. Or like sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'll overhear someone say something a certain way, or I'll see like a word or something, and then I'm like, oh, I've never thought about that. Or most often it's like I just get a melody when I'm like out somewhere and then I have to like record it in my voice memos or something like that. That happens to be the most. I feel like I'm actually better with melodies than lyrics. That's
That's
definitely
so
the
crazy. That's so cool. Like that's such a fun talent to have. Like be inspired by that and then be able to just kind of like whip something up. I think that's so cool. I feel like also a lot of your music that you're at least putting out on TikTok, it's very relatable. Like it's just about like everyday things. And then I think that's probably why you have such a like strong following right now and people are really connecting to your stuff. It's because everything is so relatable. Like pretty much every song you put out, I'm like, oh, I felt that. Like that was like
Oh
for
my god,
that was in my life. Like that's crazy.
that
When,
makes me so happy.
yeah. When did you start feeling like comfortable enough to, I guess, one, put those songs like out on the internet, but also like be able to actually sing in front of somebody with like those like vulnerable feelings and stuff?
Um, that is such a good question because first of all, when I was younger, I didn't have anything to write about, so I would just make stuff up, like stories up. Like,
Mhm.
oh my god, it was like
Give
one of my
give
first
an
songs.
example.
Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. One of my first songs was called like Somewhere Behind Me. And it was like somewhere behind me there's a path a beautiful path, an adventurous path. Like, what am I talking about? I don't know, but it was so funny. And then the first song that I wrote, the Saw You Running one, the chorus was like me standing up for my friend. Like this guy was like going after my friend in my head. He was running after my friend. And I was like, get out of my ladies world.
Oh my gosh.
That was
I
the
love
chorus.
that.
I know. But anyway, definitely, you know, in high school, I started getting like real stuff to write about. That's when it started. And of course, it was like, the like I had a crush on someone or like whatever. It definitely started out as like a love, like me writing about like things in terms of like love. But I would say recently I've been writing a lot more about like other stuff that's also like applicable to life. Obviously, emergency contact is about like a breakup, so that kind of falls into the love category, but I've been trying to write about like, my family, and I have a song about my cat that died and blah blah blah. So, I think that like as I've matured, I have found like plenty of stuff to write about. But it was when I went to school in Norway, which is like a whole nother story. That I yeah, I know.
What?
I started like really being honest with my songs, and I remember my friends at that school were like, your lyrics are a little too revealing sometimes. And I'm like, I guess that's a good and bad thing. I would say that it's bad because I'm exposing a lot of things about myself, but I would say that it's good because then like other people really relate. So I would say that it was like definitely when I was in Norway that I started to like write that like explicitly, and it was only like in December that I decided to start posting them. And that was because I, for a long time, was working an assistant job, and I like did not have time to really write that much. And um, I also was writing a lot for other artists, like pitch songs for other artists. And I was just annoyed that like my songs weren't getting cut by like these other artists that I like wanted to sing them. And so at that point, I had quit my assistant job, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like start posting and see how they do, because like if these artists aren't gonna cut my songs, then like I should just like start posting my music and like see how it reacts. So that's what I did in December, and it just like obviously has gone like better than I could have ever expected. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of the long answer to your question, but yeah.
Yeah. No, and I like commend you for, I mean, I'm sure that's hard to get like for those artists to not necessarily like pick your song, but I think yeah, I commend you for just being like, you know what, I'm gonna just put it out there for everybody else because I liked it and I worked hard on it and here it is. And I think it's paying off. Like I would say it's paying off.
Oh, for sure. And it
Yeah,
also, I will say that like a lot of like I didn't post a lot of songs that I was trying to like get pitched for these other
sure.
artists, but it was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna like, take a break from that and like post the stuff that I write like alone at my piano. That's like really personal because obviously like this other like side of the music isn't working for me. So let me just like try this. And obviously, yeah, it's just gone amazing. So
Yeah, and going back to what you said earlier about people saying that maybe your music is a little too revealing, maybe like too vulnerable. I don't really think that. I mean, I guess in a sense, if you want to like not necessarily disclose everything about your life, I can understand that. But I think when your music is vulnerable, it's when people, that's when people connect to music. Like
oh,
my favorite artists are people that like really let it all out and like then I can feel like we are the same, like we are on the same level and I'm not going through whatever I'm going through by myself. Like somebody else obviously has gone through it too, and I think that that's like a beautiful thing. So,
oh, for sure. And that's definitely what I'm trying to do. But yeah, who are your favorite artists, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
um, see, I have like artists everywhere on the spectrum.
I love that
Um,
though. That's me too, I feel
but
like.
like let me think. I think a lot of my favorites right now, I'll say like currently because I go through phases like every couple months I like switch it back to like something else.
Oh,
But
yeah.
right now I really like Chelsea Cutler, really like Chelsea Cutler, really like Quinn,
XP, yeah, that guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, heaven's sake.
and I don't know, I'm finding like a lot of new artists actually.
Mhm.
So I probably couldn't even tell. I just have playlists at this point of like new people because I just love music so much that I just always try to like find something new.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
You're, like, on top of it. I love
I
that.
love just like literally today on my story, I was like, please someone send me more music because
Oh my gosh, I'll hook you up.
yes.
I will.
Please do.
Yeah.
Haley Joelle's another one.
Oh my gosh, thanks.
Yeah, I'm all over the spectrum. I really like pop and like alternative, and then I like R&B and rap, and then I like country. Like I'm really just everywhere. I think the main part of my favorite music is like relating to it, like finding something that like actually means something to me and like
For
relates to
sure.
my life, and then I like it. So it doesn't really matter like what genre, if that makes sense.
I love that though.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I feel like I listen like all across the board. But
Yeah.
that's what's so fun about music, is that there's just like so many options all the time. And there's so many songs that come out every day. It's like insane.
I know. New Music Friday, man. Like it's crazy.
It's
Um so we kind of talked about it a little bit, but you started putting your music out on TikTok and the response I think was like awesome. I'm really glad that people are starting to see your music. And I think with Emergency Contact, like even more people are starting to see your other stuff. So I want to know like what is one of your favorite songs that you've released, I guess, on not necessarily released, but played on TikTok.
okay. Oh gosh, I feel like all of them.
I know.
Uh, but I do have one song that was kind of like my first like glimpse of like, oh, people actually kind of like my stuff. And it was my song Molly. It was like My Mom Calls Me Molly. That's the chorus. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. And I actually was thinking that that would be like my first release. But then Emergency Contact kind of took over. But I'm definitely going to release that at some point. So I'm really excited
Yay.
about finishing that.
Yes. That
Is
one
that
is a good one. Honestly, like all of them. I know you were
yeah, do
kind
you
of
have a
saying,
favorite?
do I have a favorite?
Yeah.
Molly's one of them, and then Outsiders, and
Oh yeah.
I
Okay,
think
cool.
Avery's good. I think Avery's really fun too. I like that one.
Thanks. I like that one too. I actually wrote that one in Norway, and that's the one that people were like, "You're really revealing a lot." But yeah,
Yeah.
but the Outsiders one is also cool. I don't know if you know this guy Mike Shinoda. Actually, I don't know if I should be saying this, but that's okay. He's in this band called Linkin Park, which is obviously a huge band. But he's like doing this thing on Twitch where he like produces other artists' music. And anyway, he's actually gonna produce that one on his Twitch, like live. I don't know when though, so I'll keep everyone posted on that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh my
So
gosh, that's awesome.
yeah,
You kind of mentioned it earlier how it's a long process for a song to be released. And my follow-up question is like, are we gonna get an album from you? But I can only imagine like the work that goes into that.
yeah.
Um, is that a possibility to see like
Oh, for
sometime
sure,
soon?
for
Okay.
sure. I mean, like I've actually had like an album done before, like when I was much younger. Like I've actually like had like made albums, I guess. But I mean, I have so many songs at this point. I would say like I've definitely written at least like 600, maybe more, like in my whole life. So I definitely have enough, but I'm actually going to Nashville in a couple weeks to
Oh my
finish
gosh.
the music with my friend Johnny Shore, who produced Emergency Contact, and he's like the only person that I write with really for like my own stuff. So I'm really excited. We're gonna finish up some stuff for like release and probably write some more stuff. I definitely want to do an album. I'm thinking like it's probably more realistic for me to like shoot for like an EP, like now I guess, or like in a few months, and then maybe do like an album like the next time I release a project. But I definitely want to do one at some point. So
Well, let us know. Let us know.
I will. I'll keep you.
Um, so who would you say are your like musical inspirations, or who are like some of your favorite artists?
I feel like this is maybe like people are gonna not expect this, but I love Ariana Grande so much. And I used to like watch her on Victorious. So I remember like when her first song came out and I was just obsessed, and now she's like just huge.
Yeah.
So I love her. She's like the person who like kind of taught me how to do riffs, because she's like she has crazy vocal talent.
She's
So I
insane. Yeah.
picked up from her a lot of stuff. I would also say like Adele because I used to listen to her when I was really young because
Yeah.
that's when she was like really getting huge, and obviously like someone like you and like that whole era, being like piano bass is totally like my vibe.
Yeah,
But
that
I
really
would
makes
say,
sense actually. I like
yeah,
that.
I mean she's amazing, and
Yeah.
I think that she really influenced me. Maybe like Lennon Stella for sure, but people tell me or I sound like her all the time. So I don't know if that's a good thing that I just said that, but it's
Yes,
true.
I love Lennon stuff. You actually do. I think you have some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I love her. And Sasha Sloane. I would say Sasha Sloane is probably the closest that you can get to listening to my music without listening to my music.
Yeah.
Because she really like writes we write very similarly. Like it's very like explicit and like about other stuff, not just like love. Um, so I love her. I love JP Sachs and Julia Michaels, obviously.
Yes.
I'm trying to think who else. There's this girl Astrid S, and she's from Norway. I love her. Um, I mean, that's kind of like I feel like that's kind of mostly it. It's very like singer-songwriter vibes. I can
Yeah.
look who else I have in my playlist. But I also was really influenced by this band called Broods when I
Okay.
was growing up. I absolutely love them. They opened for Sam Smith on tour, and that's how I found them. And I also love Sam Smith. Um, so yeah, but I think that's yeah, literally all the people are just Sasha Sloane, Lennon Stone, Lucy Sachs, Lauv, love Lauv, Phineas. So yeah, I would say those are like the big ones.
Yeah, that sounds like my whole playlist currently. So love
I
that.
mean, yeah, they're all like on top of the world. So
They are like all incredible. And I feel like you do have like, yeah, it makes sense.
yeah, for sure.
Do you have like a dream collab? Like if you could work with like any of those people, like who would be like the first pick? I guess Ariana Grande, because she's probably like
Oh my God. If Ariana wanted to collab, I would die. She's so cool. I love her. But I would say like definitely I would just love to write with Sasha Sloane because I just think she's like amazing and I would love to like do this with her like on Zoom or like person when that's happening again and just like be able to see how she writes, you know?
Yeah. So what is
So
your writing process like, I guess? Like for a
yeah.
typical song?
Um, it depends. So like on the songs that I write alone, it's always at like my piano. And sometimes I like find chords on the piano first and then I kind of just like mumble over melodies or like some words will come out in the process and then kind of like fill it in. But sometimes I have a melody in my head already and then I find the chords to match it. Or sometimes I'll like have a concept that I want to write about and then I'll like sit down and write it and find melodies for like the words that I want to say. So it really depends. I honestly feel like there's no set way for me. When I'm writing with a friend, like my friend Johnny, usually, I mean, lately it's been like over Zoom, but he'll like start playing something on the guitar and he's amazing with melodies too. So then he'll start singing some melodies and then we'll kind of talk about like what we want to write about or like what idea we had for the song and then we'll kind of fill in the melodies with lyrics. And then we just like type it out in a Google Doc. But yeah, so it kind of depends on the day and like what the situation is, but yeah, I don't know if that answered.
Yeah. No, I just think it, like the whole process of it is like so fascinating. So along the same lines, emergency contact. So this, like we've already said, really blew up. It really took off on TikTok. It was basically like after a line that Matt James, the Bachelor, had said he wanted like to find his emergency contact, and you pretty much like took that and ran with it and like created this gem of a song. So tell everyone like what the song's about and how you like got inspiration to like pull that and then to like make a song out of it.
Right. Okay. So I was watching The Bachelor like however long ago that episode was, like a while ago now.
Yeah, that
Probably
was
like
like one of the
two
first
months
ones.
ago or something. Yeah. And Matt obviously said he wanted to find his emergency contact. And I remember I was actually like sitting on the floor in front of the TV. Because I for some reason that night like wanted to be really close to the TV. He said that and I wrote down emergency contact in my notes because I was actually thinking like wow that would be like a great like song concept. And so then I actually for a while tried to write it as like I want to find my emergency contact like more of like a love song. But I just could not like crack the code. Like it just wasn't like sitting well with me. So it was like a few weeks later that I had a session, like a songwriting session with my friend Jordy, who's also an amazing artist, and he's had some TikTok stuff going too. But I was like, yeah, I have like this title, emergency contact, but I haven't been able to crack the code. Like maybe we could like take a stab at it. And he like loved that idea. But then I was like, you know what? Like maybe we can like flip it. And it's not like I want to find my emergency contact, but it's like a breakup song. And it's like you don't have your emergency contact anymore. And
Ooh.
so then so then he started singing the na 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 na. And then I went down to my piano, which is downstairs, and I found some chords. And then we kind of just started like doing melodies and like it actually I remember it was like went to the doctor last week because I turned 23, but then I was like, no, 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 no. It needs to be like went to the doctor today because last week was my birthday. Also because he was writing it because I think he's 23 and I was like, okay, but I'm not. I'm like 21. So we should just say like because it was my birthday. Anyway, it obviously isn't the same or wasn't the same as it is now, but we literally wrote it in like an hour and a half, which is like insane, like the whole thing. And then I like made a little demo of it, sent it to him, and he loved it. And then he sent it to his publisher, so he's a published songwriter. They loved it. And then I was like, can you ask them if I can post it on TikTok? Like, I want to see how it does. And he was like, yeah, for sure. So then I had the green light. And then I was like, you know what? I should actually like find the like clip of Matt James saying that. And I don't even want to admit how long it took me to find that. It took me so long because I couldn't remember what episode, I couldn't remember which woman he was talking to. But then I found it and then I screen recorded it and then sent it to Jordy and he was like, oh my God, you have to put that in the video. And I was like, okay, you're right. So then I did it. And then next thing you know, I didn't even mean to post it on a Monday, but then I was like, oh, it's Bachelor Monday. And then it just took off. So that's kind of the long story short. But yeah.
It was perfect. Like having the actual clip of him and then like going into the song was just like genius. I really like that you did that.
Thank you.
You made like another quick little TikTok with like I think your actual videos that sort of
Yeah.
related to
So happy that you saw
the
that.
lyrics. Like, can you talk about that? I
Yeah.
feel like that was such a good little like idea.
Thanks. Yeah, well, people were first of all, I made that little video because I just wanted to try it and I knew that I had some footage and stuff. So, yeah, and then I was like, you know what? Like, actually, this kind of is very similar to driver's license. Like, let me just reply to that comment and like post it and see what people think. And yeah, it's been crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm so happy people liked it because my editing skills, I was like, I don't know how this is, but I'm gonna try. And actually, before we got on, I was like finishing it, so I'm gonna like make it a full video and like post it on YouTube probably.
Oh, that will be really, really cool. I liked that idea a lot.
I'm
So Matt James himself like commented and he saw it and he heard the song. Like, what
and
was running through your mind when you like got that notification? I would die.
so it was. You're gonna laugh at this. So it was like 9 in the morning or something for me when he like commented, or maybe it was like 8:30. But anyway, I was literally in bed and on my phone. And then I saw that he commented, like I happened to be on TikTok like when he commented, which is like crazy because otherwise I might have like missed it. But yeah, and so then I saw that and I was like half asleep and I was like, no way. And then I start like jumping and screaming. My mom was like, what is going on? Are you okay? She like came running in. And I was like, no, it's just Matt James commenting on my TikTok, which was insane. I can't believe that he even saw like the fact that he like saw my face and like heard my voice is like
Mhm.
enough for me. Like I'm good. I can die happy now.
Like I'm so glad that he saw it and I'm glad that like I hope everyone was like tagging him like you need to see this because
Oh
so
yeah,
good and like I'm sure yeah, he can probably relate to it. So
I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know how this season is gonna go for him, but
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
definitely gonna be interesting. Women Tell All was the other night.
I
Like,
don't know. I thought it was kind of a letdown. I
yeah.
don't know. I just didn't wasn't like I didn't enjoy it. that much as I usually do.
Yeah, I think, well, there was no audience, which like it was just made the whole
Definitely.
thing awkward when they would go to the hot seat. It was like silent. I was like,
I know.
snaps? Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing here?
Can you guys clap like amongst yourselves or what's
Yeah,
happening?
I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on? And then I don't know. Yeah, this season was a little off for me. I mean, I really like Matt. I think he's a good guy, but it was just an off season, I think.
I think because
Um,
they like gave him way too many women.
yeah.
So he like even his like strong connections weren't that strong because he like was spread way too thin, you know?
Mhm. I think people got upset with the fact that we missed like 3 dates and Tasha and all of that. And
Yeah.
then and like focused so much on like Victoria and the drama and stuff. And I think that's probably because he didn't make like really any like strong connection. So it's like
I
they
know.
had to do what they had to do, I think. But yeah, pretty much a letdown.
Yeah. Agreed. I hope next
Um,
is better.
yeah, hopefully the finale is like gives us something, you know?
I know, I know.
So Emergency Contact comes out March 4th. What are the details?
So Emergency Contact is coming out this Thursday, March 4th. It'll be out everywhere like Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. I'm also going to be like uploading this video to YouTube, so it should be on there too. But yeah, you can pre-save it with the link in all my bios. So Instagram is it's Haley Joelle. It's in my bio there, and same with TikTok. It's Haley Joelle. Same with Twitter. It's Haley Joelle. But yeah, so if you want to pre-save it, you can. But at this point, when this is coming out, you probably can't. So you can just listen to it wherever you find or wherever you listen to music, and you can just search Haley Joelle Emergency Contact.
Yes, and follow her on TikTok because you'll get even like you'll just get the best music.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, of course. Congratulations on all of your success. I'm really excited to see where you go. I think you're gonna just be so successful, and I'm excited to like follow you on this journey. I'm gonna link like everything that you just mentioned in the show notes, and then obviously I'm gonna share the song when it comes out. But thank you so much for coming on. This was so fun.
Thanks for having me. I told you this before, but this is my very first podcast, so it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm so happy that we could do it.
Yeah, I'm honored, seriously. Thank you so much. Be sure to follow Haley on all of the socials like she just mentioned and play Emergency Contact, send it to your friend, post it, like tag Matt James in it 1,000 times. Like, let's
Exactly.
go, people.
Let's
But yeah, be sure to follow Girl We Gotta Talk podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Bye.
bye.